All right. So one of the things that I'm learning in my North Node in Scorpio is in the fourth house is to conquer my my mind, and it's the number one thing that I come to conquer in this life. Not the physical, not the byproduct, not the status, but the mind and the values. Now, uh, I've come to the thorough understanding that I come to the thorough understanding of I have to learn to create my own reality as much as possible with my mind, my thoughts, my habits, and truly take heed to wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Truly take heed to focusing on and building on, you know, my habits, my behaviors, my feelings, my emotions. Really diving deep on what is and what isn't. You feel what I'm saying? Um, and being real with that, being real with the understanding that, you know, there's deeper things out here. And one thing I'm learning, especially as a melanated man, one of the things we fuck where we got fucked up at as a people is this identity crisis. And just anybody in general, but especially as a melanated people, we lost and we forgot our divinity. We've been trained to forget our divinity. Excuse me, not even we forgot. We were trained to forget. We are conditioned to forget our divinity from the food that we eat to the deities that we worship. And I came to this thorough understanding that, you know, that my skin is glowing, bitch. Ooh, that face shit is working, bitch. Ooh, that shit working, bitch. Anyway, you know, truly walking in the thorough understanding of walking into your divinity, walking into your truth. And a lot of people, I say it like this, and it's most people not ready for this. You attract abuse when you start dishonoring yourself. And a lot of people don't like to accept that. I'm gonna say a lot of people, but it's what I've learned from my experience. Because people, and Neville Goddard says it so beautifully. People are only messengers of who you are, and and if that's the truth, people are only messengers of who you are. Um, I had to stop. I had to grow as I watch people. What are they trying to show me about myself? And one of my good friends was showing me I'm dishonoring myself too much. I'm giving myself enough credit. I'm not building myself. I'm not building my confidence and building my trust in self. You know what I'm saying? And when you have this identity crisis of thinking that the outside world is who you are, and it's not. Like, I had to get rid of this idealism that money makes the man, and that's not the truth. The man makes the money because the physical paper is made by men, by materials, by machines, but also on the understanding that I didn't have any money to create money. I started my business with nothing, and with literally nothing, no money. This idea is the currency of my mind, and then I acted on it in the physical, and I exchanged services with somebody, and they gave me my dividend, my the result of my services, and I had to truly understand that current that was flowing through my body to do something to get me paid uh, was a thing that I needed to manifest the physical money. And as I elevate my frequency and my vibration, and understanding that I am not the body. I am not the body. I am the person who I'm the soul living inside the body, and you have to construct your vessel properly. You have to construct it because you are the god of your universe. However you want to put that, however you want to flinch that, Like, for instance, as a marketer, I had to understand you have to talk, you have to go live with, like, you have to go live, like, if at 1,000 people, like, if you had 1,000,000 people, if you had 1,000,000 people, because there's no difference. It's the same. I have to accept this. It's the same energy. Um, it's the same energy, and you just have to grow enough in the system where you can get enough attention, etc., etc. So, people have this identity crisis of missing out on their divinity, and I am becoming a stronger believer in relationships, and relationships make you a better man, a better person, and you know when you know who you are and you stop like dishonoring yourself, you start cutting off not only things in yourself, but things with people that dishonor you. And it's not personal. After a while, it's not personal. It's just of the fact that I will not settle for being treated this way. And one thing I learned from Ian Van Sant is that uh, when she cuts people off, it's because they come up. Even though I think she's a little too TV-ish sometimes, but she does come off with the energy of I will not be dishonored because I will not be dishonored because I don't treat me this way, and because I don't treat me this way, I will not accept it being. I will not accept. Uh, I will not accept me being treated this way, and being in the South Node of Capricorn, that can be the straw. And I'm growing in this understanding. I like this too. That the South Node is the basis of your life, but your life's purpose is to grow the tree, and the tree is your North Node. So my relationships can be based on status, but it flourishes on spirit, nurturing, uh, being divine, and really creating my own universe, um, creating universe using my mind, my systems, and getting it out of my primacy, out of your cellular system. That it can be this and blue, 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 and you really have to get out of the power of not and of not dishonoring yourself. And I would say the younger you learn how to do that, the better. Because the older you get, the more stubborn you can become about the more stubborn you can get about your dysfunction. And I'm learning that if you don't learn healthy principles, uh, if you don't learn healthy principles, um, if you don't learn principles and values and disciplines young, if you don't learn them young, you're gonna have a harder time when you're older because your brain is stubborn to the shit. You're stuck in it, and depending on where you are in this universe, where you feel like you can gain the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding to be, do, and have more, um, then you won't get what you deserve. Now, I'm in the worst and the best country in the world, the United States of America, where I can create an opportunity and build myself up. But I'm in the worst because of how you treat the melanated man and woman and child. So um, I'm good. How are you doing? And just you have to get out of this identity crisis of not knowing who you are, not walking in your divinity, um, not knowing you are divine before anything else. You know, um, it's a powerful thing to really start to walk in the fact that you are truly divine. And maybe God doesn't resonate with you, or creation doesn't resonate with you, but you are a divinity before everything else. Before you're black, you're white, you're yellow, you're green, and not all of us are acting in our divinity. A lot of us are. Some of us are, outside, opposite of that. But for the most part, it's something that you must understand that you are divine. You feel what I'm saying? And you have to walk in that, talk in that, breathe in that. And I knew that from a young age. And I already knew that I had a blueprint for my life and what I came to do. And I wasn't going to be interrupted by people who didn't share that blueprint when I know they were just the vessels to the gym. Uh, they weren't aligned with that plan. You know what I'm saying? And it does hurt that they don't support, but you know, but the one thing about support is a lot of people a lot of people talk about support from a lack of self-sufficiency. Like you can't do things on your own. And I had to grow out of that understanding. When people say you can't be supported, you're not supported, um, you act like you need 50 billion people when you need very few people to come forth and to change the world. I'm learning that you don't need a lot of people. Most people who are deaf, dumb, and blind, they'll come. You know what I'm saying? When you looking for support, especially as an entrepreneur, figure out the things. Um, you too. Uh, when you when you figure out the things that when you looking for support, find the things that you can do. Find the things that um, you can create. Find the things that you can dominate in this universe. You know what I'm saying? Find the things that you can do right now to put you in an empowered position. You know what I'm saying? Too many of us, including myself at times, focus on what we cannot control, focus on what we cannot do, focusing on what we cannot have, and a lot of those times, that shit is not that important. And as I reflect on my journey, you know, I have to change it into a process, not just a journey. But as I reflect on my life and the hardship that I've grown from, I've done so much with so little. And um, man, I've done so much with so little, due to the fact that I would not let my determination fold to prove to myself that I can be done because I am divine. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm gonna share with you. You are divine.